So I think it's worth noting that because the way functions are designed, they're based around these two of the three laws of thought, right? And that ends up causing them to violate the law of identity, which means that these three cannot coherently be used together. They don't coexist with each other, which is kind of amazing. Like, good job, dumbasses. What the hell did you do here? So let's see. Let's let's do this. I swear I know how to use a computer. Right. So recall that we had the equation of an ellipse. Wow, I can't type for shit. Or an hyperbola that looked like this. There's an x squared on a squared term, and there's a y squared on b squared term, and that all equals 1. Well, let's note this correctly. So, it's an unsorted list, and what's the sign on it? Dunno. Hey, look at that. Now, we have an equation that gives us all of it at once, right? Sort of. There's like one more rule in here that one of these must be positive. One of these two must be positive. But whatever, I'm not going to work on trying to encode that here. Anyway, woo! I forgot it does that. Okay, so if we look at, let's see, split vertical. Show me this one. Okay, so the law of excluded middle is getting us to basically functions, right? So a function version of an ellipse just gives the top half, right? A function version of hyperbola, just gives the top half, right? And then we're like, yeah, but the other half, you just take, it's just the negative of it. Right? Well, no, not always. Anyway, you could do rotations to it, which will make that not true. Right, so this is coming from the law of excluded middle, right? Because what we want is a function takes input and produces a value or nothing. That's it. Right? We can just true or false. There's nothing else you can get. You can't get multiple values. It's not a multivalent logic. We're only allowed to get something or nothing. Did the input produce a value? Yes. It damn well better be only one value. Did it produce a value? No. Okay, that's fine. But this here, let's look at it this way. Okay. Function version of an ellipse gives just the top half, right? But that's not the ellipse. So law of identity has been violated. These can't coexist with each other. This is incoherent. It doesn't work. And modern conventional mathematics is plagued with the consequences of this failing. Functions are just an invalid notion. Like, we shouldn't be basing pretty much all of math on functions. We shouldn't be, because it's just, no. Yes, it simplifies things, it makes things nice and convenient, and makes things very simple, and yes, simpler. Functions can still be a fucking nightmare. But, granted. But still. And looking at all of the possible outputs correctly just makes things even harder. I get that. But you don't get to sit on your high horse and be like, oh, this is how it works, we're doing it correctly, when you're clearly not doing it correctly. What are we doing? What are we doing?